Hey guys, I'm Jack Punkington. I'm with Vexed Venue. And do you have new music coming out? Maybe a single, maybe a whole album? Are you launching a new merch line that you really want to get out to your fans? Maybe you've got a big festival or a show coming up that you want to get people to. Or maybe you're on the other end of the spectrum. Maybe you're just starting out. Maybe you're looking to join a band or looking to start something. But you don't know what to do. You don't know who to talk to. You don't know how to get the word out. Well, that's where we come in. Go ahead, record a 30-second to a minute long video of your whatever you need and what you're looking for of an ad and send it to us. We'd love to check it out. We'll play it before our podcast so that way we can help you reach the right people because we're all about helping the community here. So again, send us a 30-second to maybe about a minute at most, keep it a little under, ad of what you need. We'll get it out there.
She's 4'11", but her caffeine intake says 6'4". Kenzie, middays on 106.3 The Core. She could probably bench press a coffee machine.
Hey, what's up? It's your boys from Lost Grip, and you're listening to the Vexed Live Music Podcast.
Hey guys, Ashton Hollick here, vocalist for Abigail's Asylum, and I am here to let you know that we have a brand new single about to release on May 3rd. So wherever you listen to music, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, make sure you go and check it out for the brand new single from Abigail's Asylum, Sanctus Mendax. We'll see you May 3rd, and keep tuning in to the Vexed Venue podcast. We love it here.
The only guys who can have a beer for breakfast at work and not get fired. The David Mahoney Show, weekdays and Saturdays, 5 to 10 on 106.3 The Core. Thanks to Paintball on Bay Road, more than a body shop. Watch the road.
Hey guys, I'm Jack Punkington, the host of Vexed Venue's Rig Review podcast. Do you got some gear that you really want to show off? Maybe you have a story behind this guitar that's been passed down by generation in your family. Maybe you found this really cool snare drum on the side of the road and it's got a sick sound and story behind it. Maybe you bought a cursed clarinet from a jazz club down in Nolens and you don't know what to do, but you want to show it off. Well, that's what I'm here for. Go ahead, submit your gear. I will rate and review it. I'd love to hear the stories behind your equipment. I would love to check it out. And not only that, I'm going to have people on my podcast where I will interview them about their stories with their equipment, what they bring on the road, something that really means to them, stuff that they're looking to get, stuff that they're looking to prove with their equipment, and just honestly share and show off what they've got. Maybe you need some tips. Maybe you don't know where to start when you're looking to get into having some nicer end equipment. Does a speaker really matter out of a cab? Do I really need to get a set of Seymour Duncan pickups? Heck, does the reed matter in my saxophone at all? Does it matter what brand? Well, guess what? Tune into the podcast. I will happily answer these questions for you, along with many more. It's Monday nights, 8 p.m. Submit your gear, tune in, listen to the awesome interviews, check out some tips, because you might learn something, or you might have some knowledge to pass on to me so I can pass it on to others. Again, Monday night, 8 p.m. Tune in. Peace, everybody.
We are Fall to the People, and you're tuning in to the Vexed Podcast.
This man's only addiction is to live concerts. Ugh, too bad it wasn't something cheaper. Like cocaine.
What?
Afternoons with Meatball on 106.3 The Core. At least concert merch doesn't require bail money.
Hey guys, this is Jack Punkington, guitar player of A Proper Axe. Please tune in to the Vexed Venue podcast to hear awesome interviews and music for local bands. And that means it is time for local music. It's going to be a very fun night. We've got a pretty stacked show. We've got some new bands that we haven't played before, and some local favorites. And I am going to be joined tonight by Jason of A Lion Within. How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today, Jack?
Doing great. It's awesome to see you again. I'm so excited to have you on the show.
I'm thrilled to be here. I'm really looking forward to hearing some amazing independent local artists. I'm hyped for this. I've been looking forward to it all week.
Heck yeah, man. Same here. Well, before we get into our first block, just a couple quick announcements. We have a couple of shows coming up. First, this weekend on the 8th, we have The Lion Within, War on the Horizon, and we have Ashes of Ice. Come on out to Vexed Venue. $5 for the first 20 people to get their tickets. After that, it's $10 in advance. The day of the show, it's only $15. Again, it's the same price as McDonald's. You can't beat that. Next week is going to be Neon Coma, Unholy Honor, and A Proper Axe. It's our EP release kind of party show, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And then August 23rd, we have a kids karaoke contest for charity. $5 entry fee. All funds go to charity. It's, I believe, Little Legends on the Pier and Feeding Saginaw one Sunday at a time. It's going to be a great way to get the young crowd into music in a nice, fun, and safe environment. You know, nothing like harshly judgmental. It's all for fun. So come on out, bring your kid if they want to have fun, like just jumping on stage singing. It'll be a great time. A little fun note. My very first talent show was when I was in first grade. I went out in front of the entire school and did Who Let the Dogs Out because I loved that song at the time. And it's a great way to like have fun and get started. So if I could do it, anyone can do it. So our first little block here tonight is a little exciting. We have Metzfire, which they're on tour right now. With Exodus. They're also playing with Slumlord Radio this weekend. Fault of the People, who just released their new single, which we will be playing tonight. And Tribe 989. We had Jessica from Tribe 989 on our Rig Review podcast on Monday, which was a hoot. So let's have some fun music, and we'll be back.
Circle the train, yeah.
Jessica.
Product placement, dick.
All right, Jason, what'd you think?
Well, let's see. I'm kidding. All of them were awesome. Loved every single one of them. Very, very familiar with Tribe 989. I've been friends with them for a minute. I could actually tell you some stories about how I met them. Fault of the People. This was actually the first time I've had the opportunity to hear them. But I have been seeing their name around quite a bit as far as a lot of shows around the area. So it was actually, I felt good finally being able to, you know, put the sound to the name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought they were, you know, pleasantly heavy.
It's funny because that's their newest single that just came out on the 31st. And that, like, in talking with them, because we had a little listen party with them on Sunday, they're like, yeah, this is the outlier of the heaviest song that we wrote. So it's funny, that's the first one that you've heard by them.
Yeah. Oh, so they're saying that's their heaviest pretty much.
At least right now that they've got recorded. They have 5 total that they'll be releasing without the year, and that's just the second one.
Okay. So my first impression of them is maybe not. I need to hear more, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What was the first one that you played?
They're called Metzfire. They're actually, I just got a update from our producer here. Saturday they will be playing at the Stanch, the intersection in Grand Rapids, with True Barn, Slumlord Radio, and Genetic Drift. So that's this coming weekend, and Tribe 989 is currently, literally right now, playing with Buck Cherry up in the UP.
Yep.
Which is so cool.
Oh yeah. No, that's great. We played with Buck Cherry. When was that? Out in Fort Wayne, Indiana, a couple months ago. And let me tell you, they always put on a great show. I think that was like my third time playing with them throughout my musical career, and I've never seen them put on a bad show. Like, you know, it's like one of those deals where if you listen to their studio recordings and you like that, you'll love them live. You know what I mean? And good for them. Good for Tribe 989.
Yeah.
They've been doing some great things, you know. And it's great to see how they've progressed. You know, they've really grown, I feel, quite a bit in the past year. Not that they were ever bad, but I mean, as far as their aspirations and what they're accomplishing and the things they're doing and everything, I'm really happy to see that. They're good people, you know?
Yeah, I was working on a vocal cover for a song, and the first person I sent the rough draft to was Jess. I was like, please, I need tips. So she's so kind. Steven is one of the nicest dudes I've ever met. We talk all the time.
Okay. Yeah. It's a funny story because I want to say it was, I got to think back. It was February of 2025. My band, The Line Within, we were at the Machine Shop and we were playing a show with Scotty Austin. And Tribe 989 just happened to be in the audience that day. And I happened upon, they were talking to a mutual friend or something that I went up and talked to. And I got to talking to them. I was like, oh, hey, you guys playing a band? They're like, oh, yeah, we're in Tribe 989. We got to talking, yeah, we're going to be at the Token, in a couple weeks. I was like, that's right around the corner from my house. I'll
right.
So, I also do band photography as a side gig. You got to fund the dream, right? You got to find a way to fund the dream of music. So, as a side gig, I do music photography for bands and things like that. And I asked them, hey, I'll give you a great deal, since it's close and everything like that. And I went and shot them. I think that was it. I know for a fact it was their first time playing the Token, and got some great shots of them. The show was great, and really formed a bond with them at that show. Got to talk with them about guitar equipment and things like that. I got to talk with both the guitar players a bit about that, and just how people. And Jess is one of the nicest people ever. She's a sweetheart. And I don't think I've ever used that word in a statement.
Yeah, they're great people. Like we've played with them, I think 3 times now, and every time it's always a fun show. And like, it's really fun to like see them like rock. They're always right up front, rocking out with you, which is great. So that's so cool. And I'll keep that in mind that you live pretty close to the Token. If I ever get a chance to play there, I'll be like, hey, Jason, I need someone to take pictures.
Absolutely. No, seriously, if you're ever at the Token, let me know. If I at all impossible to get there, I will do it because it's close. And I'd love to support,
And I did get another little note from our producer, Metzfire, their singer Johnny. He was actually on the River City. I'm probably gonna say that wrong. River City Revel album for Camilla, which is our producer's old band.
No.
So
nice.
Yeah, I've spoken with, I think, the guitar player from Metzfire. He's super nice. We had him on the Rig Review podcast. No, we had him on the Live Music podcast a couple weeks ago, and we just talked about. I mean, we talked about music, but we talked about gear and how the fact I've never seen Jurassic Park before, and it just threw him for a loop.
You've never seen Jurassic Park?
I've never seen Jurassic Park.
Any of them?
Nope.
You've never seen any of them? Oh
no.
Wow. I'm a bit of a movie buff. I love horror movies, but I do like science fiction, and I do like fantasy and all that stuff. I have to say, you gotta watch Jurassic Park. Like, one of the main stars just passed away about 2 weeks ago, man. And like, you got to give him a tribute and just watch it. I'm telling you, you'll enjoy it. Here's the thing about it though. And it could kind of be like this though, like the people that saw Jurassic Park when it came out, because there was really nothing like it at the time. Like I was one of them, I remember being in the movie theater, big screen, and it's just like, oh my God, the first time they show like a dinosaur, it's just huge, gigantic, and it's just like so realistic, and you're blown away, right? But it could be for you now that it's been so many years later, and maybe like the technology and the effects and all that isn't quite as amazing as it is now. You might watch it and be like, okay, that's okay.
I mean, one of my favorite all-time like science fiction / horror is the original Alien movie, and that came out in, what was it, like 69 or 79? I get that mixed up.
79.
And like it still holds up. It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah. Oh, I agree completely. If a movie's done well, it will hold up, and I think I agree with you completely. The original Alien is phenomenal. Great movie. Don't get me started. We'll
I know we'll talk about. I should come up with a movie podcast just for fun. Anyway,
right, absolutely.
Back to the music podcast. Now, the next block of music is all for the show this coming weekend. It's going to be War on the Horizon, Ashes of Ice. I don't know why my brain keeps wanting to say Ages, but Ashes of Ice and The Lion Within. So we're gonna jam out to that, come back and talk more about it and more about the show.
Everything is still the remember you so alive. Though years have passed, I feel you by my side, by my side. Go down by the river, let it take me high, where you're so alive. Go down by the river, where it took you down, further underground. Dark days I live, your ghost it will not leave. Nightmare awake, your presence always near here, always near here. The life you lived, your love it filled my soul. As dreams unfold, your touch so chilling cold, your touch so chilling cold. Go down by the river, let it take me high, where you're so alive. Go down by the river, where it took you down, further underground. Go down by the river, let it take me high, where you're so alive. Go down by the river, where it took you down, further underground. Take me underground now, take me underground.
You wanted something new, and that's what doomed us all. You paid for pleasure, and soon it would be your fall. You tried to take it away, and that's what started war. And we are getting fed up. I will not back down. I will stand and fight. You can't win the war if we end your life. It's not a fault that you can't see with your eyes. You've taken pleasure in making us live your lies. It's something that we should never have to compromise. And we are getting better. I'm not the only one to see what you have become. Take away all the pain. It's your destruction again. your destruction again. I will not back down. I will stand and fight. You can't win the war if we end your life.
And we are back. Jason, tell me what you thought of that block.
Okay. All right. There's a lot to unpack here. I think. We have three very different styles, of hard rock and metal. And War on the Horizon. I was actually, while I was listening to them, they reminded me of a band I actually really like a lot that I don't feel has really gotten the props that they deserve. They're more of a European metal symphonic band, I guess, is kind of what they get, categorized as. It's this band called Semblant. I don't know if you've heard of them. They kind of do the same thing. They have like a female lead singer, and then they have a male singer. And kind of a very similar thing where they trade off vocals, where he'll do the growl, but he'll also sing, and she sings real pretty, but also aggressive sometimes. It's a little bit what they reminded me of as far as their style. Maybe not, there's obviously their sound is their own thing, but kind of the approach. That's kind of what they reminded me of. This band called Semblant. Definitely check them out. They're pretty good. It's Semblant. That's who they remind me of, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was definitely something a little different, especially around here, around the local music scene in Michigan. I can't say I've heard anything quite like that style. So I thought it was good. I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing them live for sure. I am. Ashes of Ice. It was I think I'm gonna have that chorus in my head. It's kind of got like it's got a little bit of a hook to it.
Mm.
I think that's gonna be stuck in my head, and I think that's a good sign of a good song is if it sticks in your head, one way or another. It's so once again, I'm definitely looking forward to hearing them. They had just a little bit of but I felt like they were mostly kind of straight ahead, kind of rock metal,
Right.
I'm looking forward to actually I checked out when I found out they were on the bill. I went and watched some of their YouTube videos and everything like that because I hadn't heard of them. So some of the other stuff I've seen by them as well, like some of their live performances and things, they're solid, and I'm looking forward to definitely hearing them live and meeting them and all that as well. And that other band, The Line Within, they're okay.
They're okay.
They're okay.
They're good enough to be on the bill.
I don't know. Hopefully, I'm sure they're just thankful to be there. No, it's an interesting story about that song, "The Haunted," in parentheses by the river. That song is actually the oldest song that we have in our repertoire, and the great thing about that is that it had a lot of time to breathe and develop over the years. Like I wrote that song even before any idea of The Line Within was even a concept. So there was plenty of time to develop it. And so by the time we took that one and went in the studio with it, it was like, I had all these ideas for different layers and little things. Like if you listen to like some of the parts, there's like little guitars like weaving in and out and harmonies. And, if you really sit there and like listen and digest it with your headphones on. And also what's I really, really love about that song, we recorded it at the Loft in Saline, Michigan with Andy Padlin producing it. And those choruses, the harmonies, that's Andy Padlin from Sponge. So singing the harmonies. So it's kind of like, it's like a nice guest vocal harmony kind of thing going on there as well. And, it's actually a big reason why I love recording there, because I like to tap him for things like that whenever I possibly can. 'Cause he's just such a magically talented, musician, he's just ridiculous. So, yeah, but I could go on and on about that song. But overall, I thought it was a solid block, and I think anybody who appreciates rock and metal and all that stuff should definitely come out Saturday and hear all that live and in person for themselves at Vexed, this Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great show. I'm really bummed out that I'm not going to be there because I'm playing at Tenacity literally the same time.
Oh, really?
And I was kind of hoping that I was gonna open because I was like, maybe I could sneak out early and like drive up to Saginaw. We're second to last, so like, well, that's not happening. No, I thought it was a great block. War on the Horizon. I had a chance to actually go to their jam space and record like my rig review with them personally. So that was really cool. And I had done a album review of their EP that came out, and I was so blown away by the sound and the quality of it. I mean, it was fantastic. Like a lot of music, when I like dissect music, I think about mental health, and I was getting so many connections with that. And it's funny that you brought up Semblant. I have not heard of them. I'm going to check them out. There is another European band that's very similar that I was thinking of, and they start with an A, like Alistant or I can't remember. They have 3 vocalists, one clean male vocalist, one female vocalist, and then a male vocalist that only does screams, and it's a symphonic metal band. And I was getting that kind of vibe too, the symphonic metal.
Sure.
So they're sick. So that's gonna be great. With Ashes of Ice, I was getting such interesting mixes. There was little guitar fills that I was really digging in the background. I'm like, that's sick. I love because it kept grabbing my attention.
Yeah.
The singer kind of reminds me of Glenn Danzig a little. With like the I want to say operatic, but I don't know if that's like the right thing I'm trying to convey of voice. And like the drum beat was almost a little disco-y, but it was like, in a good way. I'm not trying to like, I'm not knocking it because I really liked it. I was like, it made me like really get into the song, and it worked well with his vocals, and then like really sick guitar stuff. I was like, man, this is unique, but also really cool.
Yeah. No, I hadn't picked that up, but I'm gonna have to listen to it again because I want to hear the disco drum beat. Hey, I got nothing bad to say about disco. I actually, I like anything that's well written. There's some good disco out there. There is. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we just don't talk about the Kiss disco album.
Oh wow.
Ashes of Ice actually chimed in and said, we hope to have you banging along when we share the stage with you on Saturday.
Oh, can't wait.
And Cody from Veilborn hopped on saying, I was thinking the same thing about Glenn Danzig, right? It's just I listen to a lot, like I love the Misfits. And I listen to a lot of them on a regular basis. So that was where my brain straight went to, like, this is very Danzig style.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then, of course, A Lion Within. I still remember when I saw you guys live at Vexed last year. It was a fantastic show. I had, honestly, beforehand, I had not heard of you guys. So it was like, oh, this is very interesting. And then I just see you roll out this big Rev Gen 2 head. I'm like, all right, I'm excited to see this because this guy knows equipment if he's got a rev amp. And then you guys just tore it up. So hearing you guys, like hearing recording, it was just, it's so sick. I love it.
Thank you. That means a lot. Seriously. It means a lot.
I mean, like, don't take this the wrong way, but I mean, after the show, I was able to catch up with you and we talked for like 45 minutes.
Oh,
and I was like, that was so cool that like, you're like, yeah, I'm just going to hang out with you and talk. And we talked about BC Rich, Legator. We talked about everything. And it was so like, I was like, this is so cool. This guy is the nicest guy in the world.
Oh, thanks. Don't tell anybody else though.
Yeah, we don't want to wreck the image.
That's right. I have an image to uphold now. Come on.
But it was cool. And I'm really bummed out that I can't make this show because I want to see you guys again. So one of these days I got to make it out to another Line Within show, especially because I think last time I saw you guys, you had your old drummer. So it'll be interesting to see like the new style.
My mind, I was just gonna say that you've got to hear our new drummer because
Yeah.
it's I'm gonna do my best to be as like tactful and politically correct. You know, it's really having a new drummer, and he's a much different style drummer than our last drummer. And that's not to say that he's better or worse. They're like apples and oranges. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some people like apples and some people like oranges and some people like both. But they're very different, right? And they are very different drummers. And our last drummer was very, very much of a technician. He was actually a drum instructor, you know what I mean? And he played traditional drum stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he had a jazz background and, you know, you name it. And, you know, and he was a very, very detail oriented kind of drummer. And it worked for, if you listen to our recordings, you can kind of hear it. Like he's matching me on these little things, like in the most unique places. Our new drummer, his name is Perry Johnson. He's actually he gets nothing but props from me, and I'll try and make it concise because I could talk forever. But in a nutshell, he filled in. We had a show booked at the Whiskey out in Hollywood, and unfortunately, our last drummer couldn't play the show, and you know, he had departed peacefully and harmoniously from the band.
Right.
But we were under contract to play at the Whiskey. You know, we had the plane tickets. We had.
Yeah.
You know, we had to play the show, or else, you know, it would have been
the
bad.
Mafia comes at you, bad things happen, fingers get broken. It's not a good look.
Yeah, the line within would have disappeared mysteriously, and somebody's like, you know, sidewalk, you know, or something like that, like Han Solo, like frozen in snow.
Right.
But yeah, so Perry actually was like, hey, I can fill in, I can play the Whiskey, I'll fly out and I'll do the gig. And he saved the day. He like totally saved the day by doing so. And the show went so well, and we felt such chemistry and everything like that on the plane ride home, it's funny, he's probably gonna kill me for saying this, but he looks at me, he's like, dude, I don't want to like force my way into your band or anything. I'm like, dude, force your way into my band.
Do it.
That was the exact conversation. I was like, dude, please do force your way into the band, you know? And we decided then and there on the plane ride home that he was going to be the guy. And it's been great ever since. You know, he's very much a hard hitting drummer. He's, you know, got technique, but he comes from like kind of like a punk background and pop punk background, and maybe like post punk, maybe a little bit of post grunge. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a lot of that in his playing. So he's a very hard hitting drummer, but he's also got the chops, but he's, you know, he just bashes the hell out of his drums. And I don't know if I've ever played with a drummer that looks so happy when he's playing on stage. We'll be jamming like on stage, and I'll look back at him and I'll turn around to kind of like, you know, Matt and grin on his face.
That's awesome.
He's just like, yes. And that kind of energy is infectious when you're on stage. It's like, yes, that's, you know, it makes you feel good because you're like, you know, to see your other band members having a great time and really enjoying what they're doing. So you definitely have to, when you can, check us out. It adds a whole different dimension to the music. I feel like it definitely has a harder hitting, more percussive kind of vibe to it. It's definitely harder hitting now, you know, which you know, of course is not meant to say anything bad about our last drummer, you know.
Right.
He did some great and amazing things, you know, there's no taking that away from him. And I would never do that. We had a lot of good years and did a lot of amazing things. And I consider him a good friend. I'm just saying it's different. It's definitely like, you know, it's interesting seeing our drummer just beat the hell out of his drums.
Has he how many sticks show does he break?
Surprisingly none.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, for as hard as he hits his drums, you would think, I used to be in a band with Garrett Ramsden. He's now on tour with Molly Hatchet, right?
Okay.
He was in my old band called Bloodline, or actually no, Circle the Crown. This is my very last band. And Garrett, also a very phenomenal drummer. Obviously, he's on tour with Molly Hatchet. He's pro level like that. But he was a drummer that I think probably took the cake out of any drummer I've played with as far as breaking sticks during a gig. You know, I played with a lot of drummers. It's probably the member I've had to replace the most in any of my bands.
Yeah.
Probably like 50 drummers, you know. But yeah, Perry, our drummer now, he just I don't know. He hits hard but accurately. I guess that's what it is.
That's really cool. Monet, a proper Axis drummer, she's a monster on the kit. She's very similar where she hits very, very hard. She's very loud. Right. And again, she has really good technique. She doesn't break sticks that often either. Now that I think, like, she broke one at last practice, and I was like, I think that's the first stick you broke this year.
Wow.
So maybe it's something about the harder you hit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I caught some of your show at when we were at Corktown Music Festival. At the Corktown, your show.
Yeah, I love that place. We played there 3 times this year, and every time it's always fun.
Yeah, no, I you guys were great, and yeah, I definitely agree. Monet definitely is a hard hitting drummer, and you have some great guitar riffs, sir. You've got some great guitar riffs, by the way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I consider myself the most okayest guitar player alive. But no, great block. Anyone who wants to see these bands live, literally all you got to do, go online right now. There's tickets for sale. It's $5 if you're in the first 20. What $5 can't even get you a pizza anymore. Can't even get you a foot-long Subway sandwich anymore, guys. But it can get you 3 awesome bands to go see at Vexed Venue on Saturday.
Dude, $5. I mean, yeah, you can barely buy food for $5. Like, I mean, if you go to Taco Bell, you can't get a burrito and a large drink for $5.
Nope.
Not going to happen. It's going to be like $8.
Yeah. And if you're not one of the first 20 people, okay, $10. That's about the price of a Big Mac.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, Big Mac, 3 awesome bands.
And we're healthier.
Yeah, it's a lot healthier for you. And in fact, you'll burn more calories than you would if you were eating the Big Mac because you'll be rocking out.
This is true.
And then very worst case scenario, day of the show, $15. Okay, it's the same price as a Big Mac meal. Okay. Still, you're not losing money because it's going to be a fantastic time.
Dude, I just saw today about the $30 VIP. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, yeah. There's like a $30 VIP package you can get too, I guess, where you get access to like a special part of the venue. You get something like, I'm trying to remember, so don't quote me on this, but you get something like unlimited like snacks and drinks or something.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I didn't see the post about it yet. However, I got to experience that last week, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, like there it is. The
$30 VIP experience includes reserved table seating, complimentary pizza, unlimited soda, water, earplugs, and some grab-and-go access to our exclusive VIP sitting area throughout the show. That is awesome. For $30, you're getting food, drink, and you're in a special area that you can just chill out in. I mean, seriously?
That's pretty. I saw that today. I was like, oh, that's a sweet deal. I mean, I want that.
yeah, like that's the price of what you would pay for parking at like a normal concert.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So for parking, you get VIP, 3 awesome bands, food, drink, and just a nice chill area.
It's true. I mean, if you DoorDash pizza, you're paying $30.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't get the concert with the $30 pizza you're DoorDashed.
You don't get 3 bands, a special place to sit in an actual haunted house.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a lot of friends who are like kind of into like ghost hunting and spirits and, you know, all these things. And I've been telling them like, you know, you want to go here just because it's haunted, you know? I mean, and you can see bands and hang out, and it's in a haunted house. I mean, the last time we played there, I remember I was talking to the staff and I was like, hey, is there a place I can change? And they like, you know, had me go downstairs into like some little closeted area or something, right? And I'm like in there changing. And I swear to God, man, I felt things. Like, I was like looking, it was like something out of like Insidious. Like,
yeah.
Feeling things and think like you almost can hear something, but you can't quite hear it. I'm telling you, there are things going on in there.
Yeah, I mean, what a better place to have a haunted house than a haunted house?
Right. It is a legit haunted house. So, I mean,
and you get to go watch bands play there. It's even better.
I'm telling you, it's like the best of all worlds. You know, $30. You can be haunted. You can be in a haunted house. You can see bands. You can get pizza, VIP experience. Or for $5, they'll come and have a great time, and it'll still be, you know.
And I think parking is even free there.
Yeah, I think it is.
So that's like even better. Cody hopping in from Veilborn saying, "I am one of the guitarist of all time." Right there with you, man. I am one of the guitar players of all time as well. I think that's the most truest statement ever said.
It's better than one of the guitar players, all right?
All right, on to our next block of music. We've got a couple bands that played last week at Vex, so if you didn't get a chance to make it out to the show, we'll play some tunes for you. And we've got someone else. So starting off, we've got Liz Ivory, Junkyard Slave, which they did play there last week, along with HoneyFoot. And a little fun fact about HoneyFoot, the lead singer is, I think, the reincarnation, which is really weird because he's still alive, of Billy from Pentagram, because he has the same eyes on stage. It's really funny. He has so much energy, and this is not like a knock to him or anything. We were just more impressed than upset that he ripped the mic cable apart on stage it was a complete accident. He just had so much energy. It's like, we're not bad. We're just impressed that you did that, dude. It was a fantastic show. I've never seen such insane energy from a guy who's like goes straight goblin mode on stage.
Nice.
So stick around for those tunes.
Time, clinging to a lie, protecting your side, chasing something that can only survive in the afterlife. The afterlife. The afterlife. To love me is to love a home. It's fun to visit for a scare, but nobody wants to settle there. All the souls left this time I leave you to die in the afterlife. The afterlife. The
And we are back. What did you think of that block of music?
I thought that was a great block of music. That first one, was that Liz Ivory?
That was Liz Ivory. She also has another project where she is the singer of a heavy power metal band called Andrians. I think I'm saying that right.
Okay. I really enjoyed her track. I thought her singing was right on par. I loved the harmonies. I thought like I could hear that like on the radio. Like that's something I definitely hear. It, you know, her vocals are, I feel, really nice, really polished, but still aggressive and raw, you know, like kind of the best of both worlds. I thought the song was good. I really I was like, okay, yeah, this is solid. This is like pro, you know. I thought it was really good. Then the one after that, that was Junkyard Slave.
Yes.
Okay. I dug it. I thought it was cool. A little sludgy and heavy and kind of just, something I could dig that, you know what I mean? That's the type of thing like I would want to hear live.
They're really good live.
Yeah, if I was in the mood, in a certain mood, and I went and wanted to just like get down and just grungy and gritty, and you're just kind of in that mood, that seems like the type of band that would be a great live band to go and just murk in that.
Yeah.
They have, I dug it. And then the last one, that was HoneyFoot.
Yep.
That band now, okay, that's my kind of metal. Like as far as something like on the heavier side, those guys, that's the kind of stuff I definitely like. I really thought their guitar player, he was pretty good.
He's insane live too, dude. Like he does a really good job of having a good presentation while he's playing.
Okay.
And he broke out into this really sick solo live, and it was just so well done because it was a song. It wasn't the one that we played, but it was another one where they actually have a kind of like a double solo where they did the solo, then there's like a break, goes back into an ending solo, and it faded out perfectly. I'm like, dude, it's so clean and articulate, man.
Yeah. No, he's one of those guys. I was listening. I'm like, okay, I can dig this. You know what I mean? He's got technique in there, but it's still composed. It's still melodic. It's not just random. Just random shredding for shredding's sake. It actually, right, where it's composed, it's well written. I thought his guitar playing was great. I thought the riffs were great. The vocal style, like I said, if I'm gonna listen to like something like metal, that is more of the kind of thing I would probably lean towards listening if I was gonna, want to listen to something like that. So yeah, I liked them. I thought they were good. I thought they were right where they needed to be, for at least for my taste,
Right.
They're great. Yep.
Yeah, it's funny too, because like when they were loading up on stage, dude brought out a plexi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, because I've seen them play live before. Like a Proper Axe did a show with them at Mulligan's in the winter, and he was just running a Katana, which solid combo amps. And then he just rolls out a Bugera 1960 style plexi, and I was like, bro, why are you playing on a plexi? Because you're like the heaviest like doom, like kind of post-hardcore, kind of like thrashy band, and it just ripped. He didn't have like I don't think he even had like a processor board. He had normal pedals, and I was like, dude, holy crap, because I had one of those amps for like a month, and it was just too loud for my studio. But I was like, I couldn't get that tone. How'd you get that tone? Please. I have to have him on the podcast because I need to know, because it's insane.
Wow. Okay. Well, you've piqued my interest. I'm gonna have to check them out live, because now I'm curious. I'm always curious about good guitar tones and like guys who can achieve amazing sounds. I'll tell you a story, a little off topic, if we got a second.
Yeah, we got time. We got plenty of time. Trust me, I've gone to midnight before on these, so we've got time.
Okay. So there's just this band. I don't see them playing as much as they used to. They used to play actually at the Machine Shop, not infrequently. Like they would play there a lot, because I think based out of that area. And a band called Spiral Crush. Okay. Great. They're like a 3-piece band. The singer, guitar player, and the drummer are brothers, and they got a bass player. They used to play in a band called Throttle Body with Andy Paddlin from Sponge. That's how I actually met them. Okay. Well, anyways, Spiral Crush. So my old band at the time, like every once in a while, we would end up on a bill with them at different shows and things like that. And this guy's guitar tone was some of the best live guitar tone I've ever heard in my life. like as far as like a local act, right? And it was the same kind of thing. I'm like, what is he using? What is he playing? What is he doing? Right? So he had like a Marshall JCM 800 reissue, right? I mean, not like an old one, you know, not like the pre 1984 like stuff that like Eddie Van Halen was using. Like we're talking like about a reissued one, right? And I want to say he had maybe a Boss Super Overdrive, a tuner pedal, and like a wah pedal, and that's it.
That's it. That's awesome.
And I was like, well, maybe it's the guitars he's playing, but he'd switch guitars during songs. He was playing like an EVH, like the PV EVH, you know, before Eddie, you know, went and was making his own with Fender.
Right.
And yeah, like a PV EVH, and he had electrical tape all around it, right? Just like black electric. He covered it with electrical tape. But then, believe it or not, he had a Mockingbird acrylic, but it was a clear one, like totally clear. But it had the wooden headstock. You know, it didn't have the acrylic headstock. So he would play that one, and then I think he had another EVH. But it didn't matter what guitar he was playing; it still sounded like just like this wrecking ball of perfect tone. And I'm like, so eventually, I'm like, bro, what are you? Is this like a customized amp? Did you take this to somebody?
Right? Is it modded? What's underneath the hood here?
Yeah, like, is there some secret sauce you had put into this? You know what I mean? Like, did you change the transformers or using some kind of special combination of power tubes? And he's like, stock head I got used from Guitar Center. Actually, no, I think he even got it new. So, I mean, it was just like a stock JCM 800 Marshall reissue head. And he's just like, hey, you know what they say, tones in the hands. And I'm like, well, you must have like 10-pound hands because your tone is insane. I finally got down to the bottom of it, Jack. John, check this out. Because, dude, I loved his tone so much, I went and bought a JCM 800 head, right? And I couldn't get that tone out of it. You know, I got I was happy with, but it still didn't sound anything like what this guy was doing. Well, along the line, you know, I was friends with the whole band, and I remember talking with the bass player, and he's like, man, I'm so over this bass amp. I think I'm going to get this kind of bass amp, and I'm getting rid of this thing. I'm just done with it. And I want a new tone for my bass and everything like that. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. The next time I saw him, he had this new bass amp. I don't remember what it was. The magic sauce was gone.
Oh no, it was the bass player.
It was the combination of his bass tone and the guitar tone.
Wow.
And they were so in sync with each other that you know, it was hard to really differentiate. Like, what is it that's going, you know, I thought it was the guitar, but it was actually the way the two were like this. And once he got a new bass amp, it was, I mean, they sounded good. Don't get me wrong. They still sounded great, but the tone was,
gone.
It was completely different. And I learned a very valuable lesson that day. I was like, don't discount your bass player, man. If you can get a bass player that can sync their tone in just right with your guitar tone, man, it's amazing, like, what the whole sonic spectrum can do, you know? True story.
That is so cool because, like, I mean, it sucks, but no shout out to bass players is a big thing that they don't get enough credit, and they should. Not only just because of what they do in the band, but yeah, I mean, if you have a good complementary tone where it's just the overall mix, even in a live setting, like that's going to be what makes everything work. I mean, as a guitar player, or at least as a younger guitar player, when I was learning and practicing in a room, you dial, throw up the mid, or throw up the treble, throw up the bass, turn up the gain, scoop the mids. That's how you would get the metal tone back, you know, in the early 2000s. And you can't do that in a band setting unless you're Dimebag Darrell. Then that's a whole different story. But you can't do that in a band setting because what's going to happen is you're either going to be drowned out by the bass player, or it's going to sound muddy as hell. So you need to have that solid bass foundation with a good cutting guitar tone to cut through, but complement it. And I think enough people don't really pay attention to that when they're first starting out.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, like you said, you dial in a tone that sounds good when you're by yourself, but the problem is that you're not leaving room for the bass to do what the bass is supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you another example of somebody I just saw recently at Rock and Brews. Very similar situation to the story I just explained was I went and saw Riding for Killers on my birthday on July 1st there. They were in a battle of the bands with Mind Riot.
Okay.
And, Riding with Killers, that's Taylor Roberts. He's also the guitar player for Taproot. Dave Coughlin is also the drummer of Sponge.
Okay.
But they kind of have like this pedigree band going on, right? And you could just tell by watching their sound check that these are professionals. These guys know exactly what they're doing as far as their tone and their sound. And, it's just like, I was just sitting there watching. I'm like, hey, these guys are pros. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was amazing because once they all played as a unit, like, Taylor plays like, he's endorsed by Mesa Boogie. So, I don't remember exactly what he plays through what amp, but, he's got a Mesa Boogie amp. The bass player, when they played together, it was the same thing. It's like their tone was just right where it needed to be. And I was just like, and it sounds so good when you can get that bass tone and the guitar tone, and you actually think in those terms of the sonic spectrum of letting each instrument do what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so cool. That was like one of the most important lessons I learned pretty early on is you've got your home tone and then you've got your band tone.
Right.
And
right.
you've got to find it for both or
Right.
else it's never going to work out. And like, it's cool. Like when you go and see professionals do like, just like, yep. And they're like, all right, one note. Cool. They sync. And then they just run a quick, like minute long set. And you're like, just for sound check, you're like, holy crap,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, these guys sound like a studio recording, but it's all live, and it's, I don't know. I have a true respect for that. Cause it's a whole other art. You know what I mean? You can spend hours a day practicing and getting proficient at your instrument, but then there's this whole other side of it. It's like, oh,
right.
You mean I have to like make my guitar sound good with other people?
Yeah. I've got to work with people.
Right.
But along with that, back on like the local bands for Junkyard Slave, I actually before the podcast, I had just finished editing the interview that I did with them at Vexed, which I'll have that out in the next couple days. I released one that I did with City Limits today, and then I did HoneyFoot's the other day. So go, if you're on the stream and you want to check out my interviews with them, go check them out. They're on my Facebook page, but Vexed, the Vexed Venue Facebook page has shared them as well. That's something that we like to do at Vexed is, provided I'm not playing a show, I like to do an interview with the bands and see what they think of the venue and just overall get to know more of them on a personal level. I think it's fun. And sitting down with Junkyard Slave, because when I listened to them live, I'm a big fan of a band called Red Fang. And I was like, these guys are like if Red Fang was from the South and not Portland, Oregon, and a little bit heavier. They have like that kind of melody. It's a lot heavier and it is more grungy and sludgier, but they have the hooks that Red Fang writes, I think, a lot of the time. And so it was cool, like getting to know them and talk with them. Same with HoneyFoot, with just how crazy they are.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And that's the great thing, I imagine, doing this for you is you get to meet so many musicians and network and talk with people and learn things and share your knowledge as well. And just, that's gotta be That's got to be a great time. How awesome.
This is literally my dream come true.
Ah.
I give Vex so much credit for this because this is a story time, and I've talked about this on the podcast before. At the beginning of the year, I had a very important decision to make, and I was either going to go back to college, work my full-time job, go to college full-time, and take a break from my band, or do my band full-time and work full-time, because I was not in the mental space where I was able to do all of those things at once. I'm doing substantially better and now, but it would have been a lot, and I probably wouldn't have done well in school. And I was going to go to college to do this, essentially, to become a radio host on like doing journalism and, being able to someday work for a radio station where I can talk with bands, play music. And then this opportunity came along. I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't go into debt for something that I'm now just doing, which is great.
No, what a happy ending that is. Everything worked out the way it was meant to be. That's great.
Exactly. And it's cool because of this podcast, I've gotten to know so many bands that I've never even would have heard of. A couple of weeks ago, we played a band called No Sin from Eden. Go check them out. It was like, it started off kind of folky, and then it just got heavy out of nowhere. And another great female frontman vocalist, and it was just fantastic. I would have never ever checked them out because I wouldn't have heard of them. It wasn't really in like my sphere of influence, but because of this podcast, I'm like, it's a new awesome favorite band.
It's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful. Love it.
Now we do have one more little block of music, and before we get into that will be Veilborn, Promitto Lux, and Abigail's Asylum, kind of Vexed Venue favorites here that we've played a couple times. I'm a fan of all of these bands. I've seen Promitto Lux live. I am literally trying to find a way to make a proper act open for Veilborn, because in my opinion, they are the next Slipknot. But even better because they have a guitarist, which is the coolest thing in the world. And then Abigail's Asylum. I love ARGs. I love stories, and their entire EP that they're working on is literally all like one story together. So I can't wait for everything to be out. I believe they have a new single coming out Friday. So you should go check out Abigail's new single. I think it's called In the Mix, coming out Friday. Maybe we can get them to send it to the podcast and I can play it next week. We'll see. Hey, Cody hopping in real fast from Veilborn. We're one of your favorites, the next Slipknot. Yes, you guys, in my opinion, are the next Slipknot. Jason, you wanted to say something. I did not mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was reading what he put. I'm just listening at this point.
Okay. But yeah, and then Promitto Lux is just a great band. So yeah, let's enjoy our last little block, and then we'll hang out and talk more.
On display for you to make the holy dollar.
No weapon
What a chill way to kind of end the night for music. Jason, tell me what you had to think about that last block.
All right, I got a whole lot to say because I know a couple of the bands from the last block here. So first we got Abigail's Asylum, right? I've known Ashton for a really long time. She used to play bass in a band called Black Market Rebellion with the guy that's the singer of Never the Crash.
Oh, Brian, yeah.
Brian. Yeah, they were in a band together called Black Market Rebellion. They were a phenomenal band. They're honestly, I feel like they're one of those bands that it really should have gone somewhere. They were great, you know. And I was in a band at the time, and see how deep we want to get into this. My girlfriend at the time was the bass player. Well, we ended up breaking up. She ended up, you know, moving and leaving, so I needed a bass player. And actually, Ashton was going to be our replacement bass player. And she came out and jammed, and I have to say, she's a great vocalist. Like, her vocals are phenomenal, but as good as a vocalist as she is, she's every bit as good of a bass player. Like, she came in and killed it. And then, I mean, like, you could set a metronome to her.
Oh, wow.
It was like that. And you know, we gave her 4 songs, and like, she was just like, no problem, you know. And then she's like, what else you got? Like, at the practice, what else you got for me? And so we started throwing her other tunes, and she's just picking them up like right off the cuff, you know, perfectly in time. And I was just like blown away. I was completely blown away. Unfortunately, things didn't work out, but she's a great musician, and I'm really happy to see that she's involved in music again. And she's got Abigail's Asylum, and it's on the tip of my tongue. She's also involved in another project with Ken Roberts.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got another project going on too, where she's also singing, which is also I've heard some of that, and it's also good stuff. She's a phenomenal musician, and every one of Abigail's Asylum's tracks I've heard so far, I've really enjoyed. You know, this one I thought was a little different than some of their other stuff, you know, but it was good. It was you know, a little bit different than some of the stuff I'd heard prior, but I liked it, you know. Veilborn. We played a show with Veilborn at the Token. We were both opening for Flaw. And you know, the thing about Veilborn is what you hear on their studio recordings is what you get live. You know what I mean? They're
nice.
They're right there, you know. There's you know, you get live what you hear, and you know, I gotta say I appreciate that, and the energy they put out in a live performance is definitely there, you know. And the thing about them is that the singer and keyboardist run their own guitar company. They make custom guitars, and that's how I knew them. Like,
why'd you have to tell me that? Because now I have to find a way to go buy one.
Oh, they make great guitars. I mean, when we played with them, you know, the singer, he brings up one of them. He's like, yeah, I just made this one. Check it out. And I was looking at it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So yeah, they make custom. And that's actually how I knew them. I had no idea that he sang. Yes, France Guitars. And I had no idea that he sang. And then I heard Veilborn. I was like, oh, damn. You know?
Right.
Yeah. Very intense, very, very cool stuff. And I like their approach. I got to talk with some of them after the show, and and they're all around cool people. You know what I mean? They're all just good, awesome people as well. But when they're on stage, it's brutal.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to be, you know, friendly off stage, but when you get on stage, it's a whole other beast. And I feel like that's kind of how they are. And I much respect to them for what they're doing. I definitely appreciated it. And the last band, Promitto Lux.
Yeah, I believe that it's pronounced Promitto Lux. I'm 99% sure.
Okay. Now, hopefully, what I'm going to say here is all meant in a complimentary way. There's no bad, no nothing, no negative vibes. It's just kind of my take. First time hearing them, to me, it was kind of like it was kind of like progressive yacht rock metal.
Right?
You know,
I agree. I saw them live and I was like, that was my thought process, but like in the best way.
right? Yeah, yeah. No, it was kind of like, okay, like I'm kind of like feeling this kind of like, okay, this kind of chill kind of vibe, almost like I don't know, like Toto, or like I don't know, like I'm trying to think of somebody like Chris Columbus or something, like
Yeah.
Did yacht rock, but at the same time, at the end, he's like, he like gets on thing a little growl at the end, like it's like you could hear it. He's like almost on the threshold of that in parts, but then there's this total prog rock kind of beat drum kind of thing going on, and I was like, I thought it was very interesting. I thought it's like, you know what it would be like? I think it'd be like the perfect after gig music. Like, you've been at the venue, you've been there since 4 p.m. load in. There's 7 bands. You're not out of there till like 1 a.m. and you've been listening to music for like, 8 hours.
Yeah.
And your ears are just ready for something like Promitto Lux.
If you like Promitto Lux, you should check out this band called Moscow, Mexico. It is literally, that's how, like, we my old band As Your Attorney played a show with them. It was Jan's apartment. No, it was us, Jan's apartment, then Moscow, Mexico. And it's very like coffee shop rock music. And I was like there's keyboard, and I'm like chilling out, having a beer, and I was like, this is the best way to end a concert. And like they would fit in perfectly with Promitto Lux. I don't know if they're still doing music anymore. And if not, that's really sad, because they were a great sound and they would fit in so well with Promitto Lux. It's that exact sound that you're describing.
Yeah. I'll have to check it out completely, because I think music, there's for good music, there's a time and place for everything. And I feel like sometimes, you need that music for when you're just like this, like I kind of just need something to kind of just even out and kind of wind down and kind of just relax. And, but at the same time, you're not quite ready to listen to like, I don't know, like
Kenny G.
Yeah, like Kenny G. Yeah. Exactly, like something like that. You're not quite ready to go get into like smooth jazz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still need a little edge to your music, just a little bit, So yeah, but I don't think I've ever quite heard a band that sounded quite like that. So I got to give them that too. I always give props for originality. I think that's I'm a huge firm believer in that. Is bands that strive to have their own sound, their own vibe, their own music, and aren't directly like trying to be somebody else.
Right.
It's great to have influences. Obviously everybody's influenced by something, but I'm just speaking personally. The best compliment you can give me is like, man, that was great. You sound like you.
Right.
If somebody came up to me and they're like, man, your guitar solos all sounded like, I don't know, fill in the blank, I'd actually go back to the woodshed and reinvent myself.
You're like, all right, what am I doing wrong here?
Yeah, it's like that's the last thing I personally want, but that's me, So I give props to bands who try to do something different, and express themselves uniquely. And I thought Promitto Lux was like that. I actually, a lot of the bands on the list that you played today, I felt went that way. So I feel like all the bands on this whole list were pretty amazing. Great stuff. Great list.
Yeah, what I love about just the Michigan and like more or less the Great Lakes music scene. I should not just say Michigan, because there are some pretty banger. Like there was this one band we played 2 weeks ago from Aiken. And they were it was a phenomenal like rock band that was just like straight rock with a little bit of punk and funk influences, and I was like, this is great.
Wow.
So like the Great Lakes music scene is just so like phenomenal because there's so many. I haven't met a band where I'm like, all right, guys, go back home. We got to practice a little bit. No, it's everyone's been like, you know, maybe someone has an off day or something that happens, but no, for the most part, like 99% of the bands have been amazing.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. You know, it's the great thing about living around here, right? There's just so much talent, and I think it just comes from you know, living in a working state, you know, a state where people work hard and they're raised to work hard, and people have a work ethic. It kind of brings out a different element to your music, you know, and I definitely agree with you. You know, definitely some great music around here, and a lot of variety.
Yeah.
You know, like your band. I can't say I've heard any band that sounds quite like your band personally. You know, you guys have your own sound, and I think that's great, and I love it. You know.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's funny, like when you had brought up about when we were talking about your new drummer and how it kind of like the sound was different because it's just a different style of playing. When we had to switch bass players, very similar thing. Our old bass player was very 90s grunge sounding, and that's fine. It worked for what we were doing at the time. And our new bass player, he is very articulate, he is very precise, and he's very ska punk oriented. And it adds such a unique flavor, but still gives it like the sound that we do. It works out so well, and it's just I love it.
Great. That's awesome. Yeah, it's amazing what just like changing one member can do to like just revitalize your sound and bring out like just, you know, and I don't know about you, but I mean, sometimes it brings out different influences in me, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know, like different musicianship in somebody else and something they do. It's like it brings out, it's almost like playing a different guitar, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you play different guitars and it just brings out a different side, you know, it's kind of like that, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Cody hopped on and said he for the music video they did, he's like, I do not miss how cold it was for filming that. Cody, I can imagine that was very cold because it seemed like you guys were outside for quite a long time. It was a really good, it's one of my favorite local music videos though. I talk about it probably 3 or 4 times a month just because how impressed I am with it. And they want to get on a show with Abigail's Asylum. Me too, Cody. Me too. I don't know if they're doing shows just yet. If they do, maybe we need to get a Veilborn Abigail's Asylum APX show at Vex. That'd be pretty cool. And Cody also says, much love, Jason. We love to play with you guys again sometime.
Absolutely. That'd be great. That would be awesome. I have to say, though, I was talking with one of the guitar players. I'm not sure they were wearing their masks, but which one it was by name. But that video scares me, man. I have nightmares about that exact situation, man, except it's me. Like, I'm like the one bound to the thing, and I'm like, you know, they're burning me. But
right. Every time I watch that and I like when the fire is actually happening, I'm like, man, I'd be so scared that like it just falls and then you accidentally fall into the fire. That would be terrible.
Right. You know, off topic, but speaking about fire, right? I got stories galore. I could sit here all night and tell you stories. God, years and years ago, I played in this pop punk band, right, called Conniption Fit. And we won this contest in 2010 where we got to open for Kiss at Pine Knob on the main stage. It wasn't like a side stage. It was like on stage. And, you know, it was a great time. But point being, we're backstage after we played and Kiss is on. And we're standing at the backstage door watching from the side stage. And I think what so many people don't realize about what Kiss used to do is that they're in these huge, like, ornate outfits, right? The amount of heat from all that pyro,
yeah,
I don't know, 20 feet away behind a door. And every time all that pyro would go off, you would feel this blast of heat, like you're in like a furnace, like through the cracks of the door. You know what I mean? Like it was like so hot. And you know, it just made me think, it's like these guys do, like, we're doing this night after night after night after night for decades in like these, like, you know, armor and stuff,
Right.
7-inch leather heels. And you know, I think that's one of the things that Rammstein is probably the new Kiss, I guess, as far as that kind of show. You know, I mean, the heat and things that those people probably endure, you know, it's just something to pass on to the casual listener who watching this show is like, you got to give appreciation to these bands, because they're not just like, you know, standing there looking at their shoes, like standing in one spot. They've got like, they're standing in a furnace. You know?
Yeah. Like it's an actual oven pretty much, guys.
Yeah. Like they're this close to getting cooked.
And they're doing it all for you.
Doing it all for you. So
when last year when Disturbed was on tour and when they were inside, this only happened on inside arenas, and they did their song Inside the Fire. The pyrotechnics would literally always make the sprinkler systems go off without fail every indoor show because it was so intense.
Wow. That's crazy. Crazy. Yeah. I just was this a little late, but thanks for the dancing comparison. I take that as an absolute win. Ha 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 ha. Frisbee.
You're so welcome. I mean, that was my first thought, was like I was getting disco vibes, and then I got Danzig vibes. I was like, this is such a unique like sound.
Disco
And
Danzig.
I loved it. Disco Danzig. Cody hopping in with some more lore on the music video, all recorded by ourselves and edited by me. That was our fear as well. We had a fire extinguisher just in case Chris fell forwards. Dreading the day that we have to play outdoor show during the summer. Yeah, I don't envy you guys. Like I can imagine, like I'm playing an outdoor show Saturday, and I'm like, all right, what can I get away with? Like shorts, even though my shorts are like trip pant shorts, and I'm like, I don't think I can get away with a tank top. So I'm still gonna be sweating. And you guys are in full like full on uniform outfits with masks and everything. That's gonna be insanely hot. Has anyone seen Thriller, covered by No Resolve and From Ashes to New at Vexed Venue? Yeah, that's right. I forgot that was filmed at Vexed Venue. I have not watched that yet, but I need to check it out.
I've seen that. I have seen that. That's a cool video. Like they do, like, yeah, like all the neon and everything like that. And yeah, I knew some of the people that were in the video and stuff like that. Yeah, that was actually a pretty cool video. I did see that. That's right. I forgot all about that.
I'll have to check that out because I like No Resolve a lot. I think they're a pretty sick band.
They're a great band. That is another band I go way back with. Like way back.
When they played at the Vault or the Venue this summer, we really wanted to open for them, and it didn't work out, unfortunately. But I was like, man, that would have been a fantastic show because I would love to meet them.
Yeah, Oscar, the singer, is a great guy. He's just a genuinely good dude. Like, you know what I mean? He's no presumptuousness or, you know, he is about one of the most real, down to earth, just real people. You know what I mean? And he's a great vocalist. You know, he's such a good singer, you know, and he always has been. God, you know, I could tell stories, but yeah, I'll just leave it at they're great dudes. They really are. And you know, I that's another band. I have to give them props for originality and thinking outside the box. Because really, you know, they've always been a talented band, but it was like really intelligent marketing. Like Oscar, the singer, was one of the first people I ever knew personally. He totally took advantage of TikTok when it was kind of becoming popular.
Yeah.
And it was right when COVID was kind of hitting. So everybody was getting DoorDash and they were getting like things delivered to their houses, Amazon, UPS, FedEx. You know, nobody was leaving their homes, right? Well, Oscar's a UPS guy. So what he did was he made all these videos of him in his UPS truck, you know, at work. And he'd do these whole transition things where he'd be like, yeah, you know, by day, I'm your UPS guy and I'm delivering your package. And he's like flipping his little, you know, code reader,
Right.
puts it in his holster. And then he's like, you know, he's like, but at night I do this, boom. And he's like, you know, singing, blah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and they marketed that so well that, I mean, he has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers, and No Resolve just blew up and got signed. You know, they started doing a lot of the pop covers, go rock or metal, and you know, they've been on some big tours and some great tours with a lot of huge bands, and they're one of those bands where it's like, you know, when you see certain people succeed, you're just like, damn, they deserve every bit of it. They're just good people and super talented, and they're No Resolve is definitely one of those bands in my book. So they're just awesome.
Yeah, I think he was like, because I was kind of late to like the TikTok game. I didn't really see the appeal until I found like, oh, it's a great way to network as a musician. And he was the first person I followed on TikTok because I had seen a couple of his videos. I was like, man, this guy's entertaining as all get out.
Right. Yeah. He, you know, just be like, I'm riding along in my UPS truck, you know, by day I deliver your package. But that's like, boom, he'd always do that.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm trying to remember what some of their covers were that they did. Well, Thriller, obviously. That was a little.
They did a couple Disney covers, I think, too.
They did do a couple Disney covers, obscure songs.
Yeah.
But God, they did a lot of pop songs, but turned them into rock and did a really good job. You know, great band, great.
Rewrite the Stars, Unstoppable. I remember that cover when that came out.
Mm-hmm.
I totally forgot they did Bye Bye Bye. I totally forgot about that.
The whole dance too. He does a, you know, he learned. Or he's like, he's, you know, watching the video. He's trying to learn the moves, and then it shows the video. He's like, boom, and there he is.
Yeah, doing the dances.
But he kills it. He nails it. It's great. Dedication to a cause.
Yeah, and I mean, it worked out for him. I mean, heck, if you just go by numbers, they already have over 500,000 subscribers on just YouTube alone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely one of the more successful and deservingly successful bands I've met. Just great guys.
Yeah. Well, it is that time. Jason, thank you so much for being on the show with us tonight. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for checking out the music and hanging out with us. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, thanks for having me. I had a great time. Got to hear a lot of music that I had not heard of previously. And, so now I can go and dig into their catalogs and learn a lot more about them. And it's a learning experience for me. And definitely had a great time. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course, man. Before we end the night and anything, plug any show you want that you've got coming up. I mean, we know that you've got the Vex show, but what else you got going on?
Yeah, we've got the Vexed show coming up this Saturday. And then after that, we are playing at Diesel. I want to say that's Saturday, August 29th. It's for the Thick. I want to say it's their 30th anniversary show. We're playing with them and Mother's Butter, who is a Clutch tribute.
I've heard of them. I've heard good things about them too.
Yeah, great guys. If you like Clutch, they kill it. They kill it. So that's going to be a great show. Like I said, I believe that's Saturday, August 29th. And then after that, next month, we are headed down to Bristol, Tennessee, and we're going to be playing the Rock the Stockyard Fest with Scotty Austin and Saving Abel. That is Friday, September 18th. So if anybody's watching this and from around the Bristol, Tennessee area, we're going to be down there. So come on out and see us. It's going to be a great time.
That sounds like it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's going to be an all-day festival event. A lot of great bands. So that's going to be a good time too. So yeah, those are the upcoming like things we got going on, at least in the near future. So
heck yeah. And again, everybody, if you want to come out and see Jason here live, come out to Vexed Venue Saturday. He will be playing with his band Line Within, along with Ashes of Ice and War on the Horizon. It's going to be a fantastic time. $5 for the first 20 people, $10 in advance, and $15 at the door. The next show that we have at Vexed after that is actually going to be my band, A Proper Axe, as well as Neon Coma and Unholy Honor. Unholy Honor is a fantastic up-and-coming band from Howell. Please go check them out. They're a great bunch of people. Like I got to meet them last month. Such amazing energy for not only them when they're on stage, but all the other bands that were there. They're just a great bunch of people. Please go check them out. Go check out Neon Coma. And then August 23rd, we have our kid karaoke contest. $5 entry fee. All children must be accompanied by an adult. It all goes to a good cause, and it's a great way to get your kids into music in a young, fun, and safe environment. So come on out for that. It's going to be a fantastic time. And remember, Monday, we have our other podcast, Rig Review, where I talk with musicians. I do little interviews. We go over their equipment, talk about equipment they've had in the past, equipment they want to get in the future, what they're currently using, and all that sort of gear nerdy talk if you're like me and love to talk gear. So tune in on Monday for that. But thank you, everybody, and have a great night. Peace.
They're out to get you. The demons closing in on every side. They will possess you unless you change your number on your dial. Now is the time for you and I to cuddle close together. All through the night, I'll save you from the terror on the screen. I'll make you see that this is thriller night. 'Cause I can feel you more than any cool would ever dare try. Thriller night, so let me hold you tight and killer, thriller, chiller, thriller. Yeah, tonight, this is thriller night. 'Cause I can feel you more than any cool would ever dare try. Thriller night, so let me hold you tight and killer, thriller.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. Whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell.